Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. I guess this is not technically the first video that I've made in a couple years because I did put up a Dresden Files reading vlog last week, the week before last, but this is the first video that people can actually watch that I have posted in a long time. I took an extended break from BookTube and I'm going to try really hard to get back into recording. But for anybody who's ever taken a break from anything that they like to do, it can be difficult to take the steps to get back in there. And I made a lot of excuses or had a lot of reasons why I felt like I couldn't come back. I'm in a new home, so the recording area is different, and I was like, oh, it's going to be too echoey. There's natural light coming in from one side. I'm like, it's not going to look good. And I was coming up with reasons why I could not record anymore. And so finally just decided to say, you know what, I'm going to do it. I'm going to record a video. This is going to be a very simple February TBR, just something, gentle to get back into the swing of things, because I really did miss recording. And I do have a lot of ideas for fun videos that I would like to make, but it's going to take recording some of these and fiddling with the setup and the microphone and all that kind of stuff to get things where I want them to be. So please excuse any technical difficulties, any bumps along the way, but I'm going to try my best to get back to making videos that are consistent and fun to watch. So we are going to talk about my February TBR, which is not super long. February is a short month and we are very busy this February. Our son has a couple swimming competitions to go to, and our daughter's getting ready to be Alice in a production of Alice in Wonderland with her community theater. So we're busy in terms of family things. So I'm going to try my best to get some reading done, but I kept the TBR relatively short for now. And I will start with the book that I'm actually part way through right now. So that is Empire of the Dawn by J. Kristoff. This came out at the end of 2025, and I started reading it at the end of 2025. And for anybody who has read this series, you know that there is a point of view shift, and there's a point of view shift in the other books as well. But for some reason, when I reached the first point of view shift in this book, it totally took me out of the story, which did not happen last time, and I was not expecting it. And I really, really want to like this conclusion, so I decided I'm just going to take a break from it, and I did take a break from it, and I am finally ready to pick it back up. So I read about 100 pages yesterday, and I am excited to keep going with this one. So this is the conclusion to J. Kristoff's vampire trilogy, and the few things that I have heard about it so far, like the friends that I have who have been reading it, people who've been talking about it in Discord, seem to really like it. So I'm hopeful that I'm going to like it. It's just getting the time to read it. So hopefully going to finish that one off this week. I'm not used to waiting until I'm back in frame to start talking. I'm gonna have to get used to these things again. I also picked up a book from the library that I'm going to be reading this month. So this is called Mother Mary Comes to Me, which is a work of nonfiction. I'm trying to read at least one work of nonfiction every month, which is always a goal. It is my eternal goal, and I'm usually very bad at following through on this. So I read a work of nonfiction in January. I picked one up from the library for February, so hopefully I can stay on track. This is, I believe, a memoir about the passing of the author's mother. I don't really know that much about it. I just saw it on a list of best nonfiction from last year, and it looked good. I know that this author has had a lot of success in terms of her other fiction and nonfiction, so I decided to request it from the library, and it was the first of all of the requests that I put in, the first one to come available. So I will be reading this month as well. Then we have a couple more fantasy picks. So I am going to read Mythago, not really sure how I'm supposed to say that, Wood by Robert Holdstock, which is one of the Tor Essentials. It is a classic work of fantasy that I haven't read and that I really want to read. Again, this is a book that's been on my TBR for a long time and has kind of been hanging out in the back of my fantasy-loving consciousness for many years. But a couple friends on Discord read and talked about this last year and really loved it. And so I really wanted to read it this year, and I got it for Christmas. And now I'm excited to put it on the TBR and read it. It's pretty short, actually. It's not even 300 pages long. So I'm very hopeful that I will be able to get to this, read it, and enjoy it in February. So this is another February book for me. sticking with the fantasy theme, I borrowed a book from my sister. So my middle sister and I don't have a ton of overlap in terms of the things that we like to read. She is a big romantasy reader. And so last year I read Fourth Wing for the first time at her recommendation. I know everybody was reading it a few years ago. So I read it and it was really fun to talk to her about it. Whatever my thoughts on the series and the book, it was fun to have read something that she really loved and then talk to her about it. I am neither like for or against romantasy. I haven't read a ton of romantasy. I think that they're fun. I have enjoyed the ones that I have read so far. It is not something that I find myself seeking out or buying, but when I do read them, I tend to find them enjoyable. I don't have a burning hatred or anything for romantasy. And this is one of the ones that she really liked. So this one's called Quicksilver by Callie Hart. And I knew she liked this one because it was recently her birthday and I bought her a special edition of the second book in this series. I don't know how many books there are going to be in the series. I just know that there are 2 out so far. And when I gave her her birthday present, I said, maybe I should read them and then we can chat about them. So she gave me her softcover copy of this one and I brought it home. So I figure February is a good time to read a romantasy book. I also really don't know what this is about. You can clearly see that I have not done this for a while because I have not pre-read any of the backs of these books. I am not super prepared for this video, clearly, but it's nice to go in sometimes without knowing anything, and I don't feel like, we know the gist of what is going to happen. We know the tropes and the setup for these kinds of books, so I don't feel like I really need to read the bones of the plot to figure out whether or not I want to read it. There's going to be romance. There's going to be, a broody man who's on the cover, so I'm looking forward to talking to her about it, and hopefully I'll find it enjoyable as well. And if I do, I can go on and read the second one. And then the last fantasy book that I am planning to pick up for this month is Dungeon Crawler Carl. So I said that I came back to BookTube with a Dresden Files reading vlog, and I have to say I really enjoy filming reading vlogs. The tough thing is that it's a hard thing to film if it's not a book that a ton of people have read, because I do watch a lot of reading vlogs where people are spoiler free and so they're just, giving their general impression of a book. But those vlogs tend to include a lot more lifestyle things. Like they'll talk a bit about the book, then they'll show, their hobbies and them cooking and all those things. And my house is chaos at all times. So that is not a type of vlog that I'm going to be able to put together. So I feel like I can only do reading vlogs if they are spoiler. And then they're only fun for the people who have read the book. So I'm trying to pick some popular books either that I have read in the past to do as rereads, or some really popular books that a lot of people have already read to do reading vlogs for, because then I can just, have spoilers, I can react, I can laugh, I can cry, I can talk about the things that shock me, and I don't have to veil anything or talk in kind of vague, I'm kind of enjoying the characterization or whatever. I can talk about the book as I read through. So Dungeon Crawler Carl is one of those books that everybody except me seems to have read. So I think this one is very safe to do as a reading vlog. And I think it'll be fun to read it. So many people seem to love it. Literary RPG is not what I would have said is something that I would reach for instinctively, but so many people have loved this book, and I am confident that I will love it as well. I've gotten recommendations to listen to the audiobook as well. This is actually Andrew's copy, so I got this for him for Christmas, because just based on how many people loved it and the types of things that he enjoys reading, I really thought that he would like this. But a lot of people have recommended the audiobooks. Now I know Andrew's not gonna listen to an audiobook, so I'm still glad I picked up the paper copy, but I may in fact do audio for this one and still do a reading vlog. It's gonna depend. We'll see how the month is going, how much I'm able to read, how busy I am, but I may make this my audiobook for the month and then just do it reading vlog style and listen to the audio, maybe switch back and forth. The one thing I always struggle with for listening to fantasy books or just fiction that I really like on audio is that once I reach a certain point of investment, I want to go faster, and I don't like listening to audiobooks on a really fast speed, and I want to go faster. So usually I abandon the audiobook and read the paper copy. So we'll see what happens. Am I going to do it by audio or am I going to do the regular book? But regardless, I do want to read that this month and chat about it and hopefully have a reading vlog that I can upload. And the very last book for the TBR is another Christmas present, and that is The God of the Woods by Liz Moore. So this is, I believe, a psychological thriller. It may just be fiction with kind of like psychological underpinnings. But this was another very highly rated book, either from last year or late the year before. I don't remember exactly when it came out, but a lot of people really loved this one. So I have wanted to read it, and I am looking forward to it. The very brief blurb on the back just says, when a teenager vanishes from her summer camp, two worlds collide. So someone's at summer camp in 1975, goes missing, and then, you know, everything starts to unfold. So I think that this will be enjoyable. I'm not a huge psychological thriller fan, but I think this one is going to have enough crossover with literary fiction that it will hopefully be in that spot that I enjoy. But if you have read it and you've enjoyed it, then please let me know. A couple of my good friends whose taste I feel does align with mine and whose opinions I really listen to and respect have enjoyed this book a lot. So I do think that I am going to like it, and I'm looking forward to reading it. It's just that it might be a little bit outside of the thing that I typically go to pick up. But that's it. That is my relatively short TBR for February. I just, you know, I wanted to record something, even if it's short, even if there's not a lot of substance. Sometimes you have to just sit down in front of the camera and get something out, and that will build its way to, you know, longer, more interesting videos in the future, I hope. But I just wanted to say to everybody who, you know, dropped by on Discord, who sent me a message on an old booktube video, who sent me a message on Goodreads, I really appreciate it. It made me want to come back even more, knowing that there were people out there who missed the videos, who liked chatting, who enjoyed the content before I did have to take a little bit of time away. And I really missed being here too. So hopefully I can make this into something more consistent, get back into chatting with friends, maybe join a couple of group chats, get back into the swing of booktube. I feel very, very out of the loop, both reading wise and socially. Just, you know, I have not been in the thick of it recently, and I spent most of last year doing family things and rereading. So I think like 25% of the books that I read last year were rereads, which was great because I was rereading favorites. Like I reread the whole First Law trilogy. I reread the Lord of the Rings. I reread the Locked Tomb series. I reread a bunch of books that I really love, and it was very enjoyable. But I haven't actually read a ton of new stuff since I left BookTube. So hopefully I can pick through what I have read and find some things to talk about, some updates to give. I certainly do want to kind of review my favorite things that I read when I was away, give a little bit of an overview of the kinds of things that I got to when I was not making videos. Juliet, who you might remember from some of the challenges we did together, is very interested in coming back and chatting a little bit. So she wants to record a video. You might see one of the both of us or one of her pop up. And I would like to, as I said, get around to doing some more reading vlogs, and then some of the staples that I used to do back when I was making videos all the time. But I'm very glad to be back. I am grateful if you took a second to watch this video, and again, very grateful if you reached out and said hi during the time that I was away. But I will see you with another video soon. Bye!